Okay. So how many MSD students do you serve on a day-to-day basis?
Roughly 12, 13.
Okay. What are your feelings or experiences of MSD students in your classroom?
For the most part, they're positive. They're usually the least disciplined problem in the room, which is good. But when you've got good co-teaching people in there with you, it's not any different than a regular ed classroom for me.
Okay. How would you feel if the MSD students were not accompanied by a paraprofessional?
It wouldn't bother me a bit.
Wouldn't bother
Because in my previous district, there was no help.
Right.
It was sink or swim.
Best way to be. How do you plan for students with MSD to be in your classroom?
I look at their IP or 504, any other plan that they have, and try to meet those plans as best I can. And if I can't do it myself, I'll talk with my special ed people.
Do you feel qualified to teach students with disabilities in your classroom?
Yes, without a doubt.
Do you feel that your MSD students are truly involved in your classroom practices?
I think they could be more involved. But I think sometimes they can be intimidated just by the regular ed population in the class, and so they don't get involved. But I think if we could figure that out and how to get those kids involved,
how to bridge that gap between them,
we would not be talking here. We'd be making big money
right.
in PD sessions somewhere.
We need that. How do you involve them?
I try to involve them as often as I can in class discussions. Teaching history, it's a lot of old stuff, so I try to connect it to as many current day things as I can, or maybe possible things that go on in their life, to kind of give it that real world connection that'll help them tie it all together.
How could you better support the paraprofessional and peer tutors in your classroom?
That's probably a better question for you than it is for me. I know how busy they are and how much stuff that they have to do. Mm-hmm. So I try and do as much of the accommodation and altering the material myself as I can, just to lighten their load a little bit. And again, for 10 years I was by myself, right. So I had to accommodate it myself.
I can say from my standpoint that is very helpful for you to make the modifications. And the last question is, how could your paraprofessionals or peer tutors better support you in the classroom?
Just keep doing what they're doing. Show up. It's Christmas every day for me here.
Because we're there?
Well, 10 years by yourself. Any extra help is fantastic.
You got it. Check.